Hello students. On this video I am going to explain the types of retailing trade in that fixer shop large stores. Fixer shop large stores in that there are two types. The first type, that is departmental stores. A departmental stores is a large establishment offering a wide variety of products classified into well defined department, aimed at satisfying particularly every customer's needs under one roof. So these departmental stores comes under the large scale industries or large scale companies. So basically they will satisfy the customers by providing a wide variety of the products, and also they will aims to satisfy the customers by providing a services or by providing a customer's needs under a one roof. So second type, that is chain stores or multiple stores. So chain stores or multiple stores are networks of retail shops that are owned and operated by manufacturers or intermediaries. So these are comes under the networks business or network retail shops. So they will be having a networks of all kinds of the manufacturers. So they will purchase from them and they will sell it to the customers directly. Let us understand the departmental stores features. First feature of the departmental stores, not only providing a services or not only providing only buying and selling of goods and services, they also provide the facilities such as restaurant, travel and information bureau, telephone booth, restroom, etc. And also most important, the target customers of departmental stores, that is high class of the customer for whom price is of the secondary important or importance. Okay, the second point, that is those stores are generally located in the central places of the city, and you can say the heart of the city. Okay, where the large number of the populations can flow, so they can easily serve the large number of the customers. Third point, as the size of the stores are very large, so these comes under the large scale business or large scale retail shops. So generally formed as a joint stock company managed by the board of directors. So these departmental stores will be having a board of directors. They only manage these departmental stores. A departmental stores combines both the functions of retailing as well as the warehousing. So here they will be having a both services. They will procure the goods from the so many manufacturers, and they will I can say they will maintain the stock of the product in their own warehouses, and also they will conduct the retailing business whenever the demand has been increased up to the peak. They purchase directly from the manufacturers and operate separate warehouses, which I already explained. Next comes the merits of departmental stores, which will come for the 4 marks, and also the combination of merits and demerits of departmental stores you are going to get for the 8 marks question. Explain any 4 merits or any 4 limitations. First one, that is attract large number of customers. As these stores are usually located at the center place, so they can attract the more number of the customers compared with the other retail shops. Convenience in buying, what kind of the convenience they can provide the customers by offering the large variety of the goods under one roof. The departmental stores provide a greater convenience to consumers in buying almost all goods of their requirement at the one place. As a result, customers do not have to run from one place to the another place to complete their shopping. So they will provide the all the variety of the products under the one roof, so that can provide the convenience in buying to the customers, where they can avoid the moving from one place to the another place for their completion of the shopping. Third point, that is attractive service. A departmental stores aims at providing a maximum services to customers. Some of the services offered by it includes a home delivery of the goods, execution of telephone orders, grant of credit facility, and provision for restrooms, telephone booth, restaurant, saloons, etc. So these departmental stores not only provides only buying and selling of goods and services, even though they will provide the aligned services to attract the customers. Those services like they provide the home delivery, as well as they provide, I can say, you can execute the order by phone call. And the regular customers, if the regular customers, they will provide you the credit facilities also, some restrooms, restaurants, and telephone booths, saloons. These aligned services, they will provide the customers for attracting them for the repeat purchasing decision. Third one, that is economy of large scale operation. As the stores are organized at the very large scale, the benefit of large scale operation, particularly in respect of purchase of goods, are available to them. So basically they will provide you the all the facilities regarding the large scale of the operation. So they will purchase in bulk in quantity to avoid the transportation cost, and also avoid a storing of that particular goods. So immediately they can attract the customers by providing a large scales of the operation to the customers. So this completes the merits of departmental stores. Let us understand the four limitations of departmental stores. Lack of personal attention. See, as these are comes under the large scale business, so there is a lack of personal attentions on the customers. You cannot know who are your customers, who are your regular customers, to your departmental stores. High operating cost. As the stores give more emphasis on providing the services, their operating cost tends to be very high side. So these cost in turns makes the price of the goods high. They are therefore not attract to the lower income group of the people. So as the departmental stores are comes under the large scale industries or large scale store retailing stores, so for that reason they have to provide the wide variety of the product in a large stock. So immediately, the if you are giving a large stock to the customers, immediately you have to maintain in a proper manner, so that will increase the add to the cost. So immediately that you can increase the cost of the product compare with the local market. So that will increase, I can say, that will make you the disadvantages for the lower income group of the people. So you can concentrate more on the high income people, or yeah, more income people. Third one, high possibility of losses. As a result of high operating cost and the large scale operation, the changes of incurring the losses in the departmental stores are totally high. So I can say the departmental store has to maintain the each and every product in a large stock, so immediately that will make you the some, I can say, if goods has been not sold out, so immediately you have to face that particular losses. Inconvenient location. Basically the departmental stores is generally situated at the central places. So if the customer want to purchase the product immediately, so the departmental stores cannot satisfy the needs of the immediate purchasing power of that particular customers. So the if the customer want to purchase the goods within a short notice, so for them it is totally inconvenient regarding a locations. Second type of the fixed shop large stores, that is chain stores or multiple stores. Chain stores or multiple stores, as I already explained, these comes under the networks of retail shops, where they will be operated by the manufacturers or intermediaries. So they will purchase the materials from so many manufacturers, and that will be sold to the individual customers. Examples like Pantaloons, Big Bazaar, etc. These are the some examples of the chain stores or multiple shops. Let us understand the features of multiple shops. The first feature of the multiple shops, these shops are located in popular locations where the sufficient number of the customers can be approached. The idea is to serve the customers at the point which is nearest to the residentials or the workplace, rather than attracting them to the central places. So these you can find in your every corner of the city. So you cannot say that these are located in the central places of the cities. So main intention is every customer has to satisfy the needs of their requirement of purchasing. So for that reason these are located in the every places. You can say it the residential places, or might be for near to your workplaces. The second one, that is the manufacturing or procurement of merchandise for all the retail units, is centralized at the head office, from where the goods are dispatched to each of these shops according to their requirement. So in simple I can say that the manufacturing or procurement or purchasing from someone else or some manufacturers, so everything will take place by the centralized head office. So being as a manager of that particular multiple shop branch, you have to make an analysis of how much stock is required to your specific store or specific branch. So that you have to give the list, they will make a decision to purchase, and that will be dispatched to your particular shop. So everything will be taken care by the head office of these multiple shops. Third one, each retail shops is under the direct supervision of a branch manager, who is held responsible for its day-to-day management. So the branch manager sends the daily reports to the head office in respect of the sales, cash deposits, and requirement of the stock. So as I already explained in the second point, so this is totally managed by the head office. So each and every branches, there will be the manager. That manager is known as a branch manager. He or she has to send a daily report to the head office in respect of how much the sales has been taken place, how much the cash deposit you are going to deposit on a single day, and what are the requirement of the stocks to your particular branch. That you have to make a list and submit it, that report, to the head office in a every day. All the branches are controlled by the head office, who is concerned with the formulating the policies and getting them to be implemented. So I can say these multiple shops are managed by the head office. So here the centralized authority take place. So they will form the policies, and that policy has to be implemented in at any cost in that particular branch. So this completes the features of multiple shops. Let us understand the merits of multiple shops. First one, economies of scale. As there is a central procurement, the multiple shops organizations enjoy the economies of scale. So economies of scale in the sense, being as a branch manager, you will be not having that much burden how to purchase the product from the manufacturers. So that will, I can say, that will make the can say remove the burden of that particular economies of scale regarding center, regarding the purchasing of the materials. So everything will be, decision will be taken by the particular head office or headquarter of the multiple shops. No bad debts, since there is every transactions will take place on the cash basis. So immediately there is no bad debts. So bad debts in the sense, if you pay any credit basis, you cannot, I can say, you cannot recover that particular credit. So immediately that you have to treat it as a bad debts which you cannot, the amount which you cannot recover. Elimination of middlemen. By selling directly to consumers, the multiple shops organizations is able to eliminate the unnecessary middlemen in the sale of goods and services. Basically they will eliminate the middlemen by making a purchasing decision from the manufacturers, and directly it will be sold out to the individual customers, where these multiple shops can remove the or eliminate the middlemen, which can say which is most good advantages for the customer side, where they are getting a product on the less cost. Next point, that is low cost. Because of centralized purchasing, elimination of middlemen, centralized promotion of sales, and increasing the sales, the multiple shops are lower cost of the business. So if you compare with the departmental stores, multiple stores will be having a low cost regarding these all criteria which are mentioned in the point, like eliminating of the middlemen, so centralized purchasing system, centralized promotional activity, how to increase the sales. So these everything will be taken care by the headquarters, so immediately the branch will be maintain a low cost of the working capital. Next topic, that is limitations of multiple shops. First one, limited selections of goods. Some of the multiple shops deals only in the limited range of the products. They do not sell the product of the other manufacturers. In that way the consumer get only the limited choice of the goods. So these multiple shops only deal with the only single product line, so that will create a biggest drawback for the customers, where they are going to get the only single product lines in the multiple shop. And also in single product line they will maintain a only limited manufacturer's product, so that will create a limited selection of the goods to the customers. Second point, that is lack of initiative. See, as it is totally centralized authority, so immediately you have to obey the instructions received from the head office. So there will be not having that much freedom to give the suggestions to the top management. So that will immediately creates a lack of initiation among the workers. And also here they will not take any suggestions from the customer side also. Lack of personal touch, as these are comes under the large scale enterprise or joint stock companies, so their lack of initiations in the employees sometimes leads to the indifferences and lack of the personal touch in them. So if there is no initiation from the employees side, so immediately that will create a problem for the I can say lack in a personal touch. These multiple shops will be doesn't know who are the workers of their organization. Okay, because of can say because of not having that much personal touch with the all the workers in the organization. Difficult to change the demand. If the demand for the merchandise handled by multiple shops change rapidly, the management may have to sustain huge losses because of last stocks laying unsold at the central depot. So what will happen? Basically they have to maintain a large variety of the product, so that will create, if the demand goes down, immediately the sales will be down, so that whatever you have maintained the stock, no, that will be remain unsold. So immediately that will create a difficult for the changing the demand in the marketplace. So according to the demand, these multiple shops has to maintain the stocks. Next topic, that is difference between departmental stores and multiple stores. First differences, that is location. A departmental stores is located at the center place where the large number of the customers can be attracted. To attract them, they will be located in the central places. Where these are located in the, I can say, the located at the number of the places approaching of the large number of the customers. You cannot say that these multiple stores are only located in the particular location. These can be located in every corner of the city. Range of the products, departmental stores aims at satisfying all the needs of the customers under the one roof. So here they will satisfy the customers. Once the customers enters into the particular departmental stores, they can make a decision of purchasing every product. Okay, but that facility or range of the products are not provided in the multiple shops, because they will deal only a single product lines and specific product lines. Pricing, the departmental stores however do not have a uniform pricing policy for all the department. The multiple shops sells the goods at a fixed price and maintain a uniform pricing policy for all the shops. So I can say these departmental stores, from one department to the another department, the prices are totally changed. You cannot find the uniform in the pricing policy. But multiple shops, if you enter into the any branches of that multiple shops, you are going to get the same cost of the product. So there you can find the uniform policies, or uniform pricing policies for all the shops of multiple shops. Credit facility, that departmental stores may provide the credit facility, whereas the multiple shops will not provide the credit facility. So as departmental stores, if the regular customers are there, they can provide the credit facility to attract the customers for the making a regular purchase of the product. But here multiple shops will not maintain these kinds of the credit facility. They will very strict towards a cash basis transactions. So this completes the departmental stores features, merits and limitations. The second type of the fixed shop last retailers, that is chain store or multiple shops, features, limitations and merits. And also we have understood the difference between multiple shops and departmental stores. So this completes the types of retailing. If you have any doubts regarding these topics, you can reach me by WhatsApp. Thank you.